Let's talk about the NFL though, because we're gonna get into college.
All right,
yeah,
Burrow,
but yeah,
big bag.
No, you skipping shit, bro.
Yeah.
He just told you.
Chiefs flying.
it's this guy right here. No, you're doing great. He fucking sucks.
Bro, he just told you what it was. He's asking about Patrick Mahomes, bro.
We gotta attack him. We gotta attack him.
Are y'all sure he does this every week? God damn.
He does this.
What's left,
He does it almost every week. But he was sleeping in the car when I picked him up.
I want to talk about what the people want to talk about.
People want to talk about how Patrick Mahomes lost, man.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes lost to the Lions. Are the Lions real? Is the receiving core, is that a real concern? They didn't have Travis Kelce. That might be a real injury.
Go ahead.
Travis Kelce out, and the wide receiver dropped 4 passes.
Yeah, he's fucking with
Yeah,
fantasy.
exactly.
Go ahead, Jay. Yeah, do you have an opinion on
Mr. Football Man.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, Kenny ain't gonna let you finish the fucking sentence. Like, bro, like what the fuck? Like, can we let my dog finish? Like,
I do agree with you. I do agree with you. I do agree with you. I think it's a waste of time.
Hey, they're coming together. You see now they
collaboration.
Bro,
fuck that shit.
Let's think about this. You got to lose sometime. The man just won fucking 2 Super Bowls
It's collusion.
in like
It is.
5 years.
It's collusion, you know.
It's crazy.
Bro,
like
he's
one game, the man ain't got his top wide receiver / tight end. Probably the GOAT in the league.
It's called pass catcher at that point.
And the guy dropped
pretty much.
four passes. Come on, man. I mean, now if he would have been T.O. when T.O. dropped them passes back in with the 49ers, then he called it and started crying, that would have been different. That would have been different. We would have had a different conversation today. But the conversation is, you talking about is Pat Mahomes, this, that. Pat Mahomes still that dog. The Chiefs still that dog. It's just they got to get back healthy. And dude got to get some gloves or do something. You know what I'm saying? Catch the ball.
Need some Elmers.
You got one job, catch the ball.
Get him some
His win
Elmers.
percentage is still great, so I don't know why it's.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I don't think like I agree with you. I am gonna agree with you and you. So this is crazy, right? History. We're gonna
First time it's ever happened.
First time it's ever happened. We're gonna agree with.
See,
Kent.
this is why I want to skip it, brother. We all agree.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I do think, to your point though,
Yeah.
that receiving core needs work. Like it's finally
Absolutely.
coming. It's finally
Give Richie
coming.
James
Absolutely.
the ball.
Well, and don't we think that division in general should be taking a step forward this year? We're
Oh, yeah.
expecting
Yeah.
the
Chargers.
Broncos and then
Chargers
mainly the
gonna be
Chargers
up.
to make a big turnaround. So you really can't afford to, if Travis Kelce's out, to have some kind of record like
take no L's
you
like
know
that.
1-3 or something like that. It starts to look real bad. Now I have faith. Well, I mean, you guys that have done this with, I'm the biggest Patrick Mahomes fan. I think he'll overcome it. I think last year this was the same concern, was we were looking at the wide receiver core and it was looking like shit. But
It wasn't this bad though.
But then we had.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
It's
I don't
not
know.
bad.
But
Some of
didn't
these
they
guys-
drop
some
their
of these
first
guys-
game last year too?
It's not bad.
I think they
Trust me.
did.
they lost a couple of them
Yeah,
from the
exactly.
beginning.
They
got a
wasn't
nice
looking
score.
like them.
And I think that this receiving core, when we say it's not as good, it's like I think they're not as proven. So it's like Richie James, Kadarius Toney, maybe in the right system, they might be able to produce on the level of Juju. I mean, he's not.
But-
that's not Antonio Brown.
But they don't have a true. They don't have a true number
like
one.
like a go-to.
And then right now, a lot of these dudes probably wouldn't even be a number 2 on some
yeah,
of
but they
these
didn't
squads.
last year, right? Like there was who was it
And
last
that's
year?
the surprise.
Of
They won a
course,
Super
they
Bowl.
won a Super Bowl.
And that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
especially as a Dolphin fan,
Sure.
because you seen what Tyreek Hill did for us. Like that motherfucker
Crazy.
is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
And they lose him, and they still win the Super Bowl. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like, damn, they are a really good football team. But I feel like now it's finally catching up.
So what do you think? What do you think the receiving core needs? You think they just need the experience and the confidence, or like what do you think they need to do?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be some time, but I feel like eventually they're gonna have to go out and get a big play receiver.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely,
eventually.
absolutely. You always need that. You
They need
always
to
need
fix
that.
their damn rotation.
They're gonna have to go get it. They're gonna have to
All
go get a
these
big
niggas on the
time.
field
They
that
got
don't
got the
catch.
money to do it. They got the money to do it. They just need to go out and get a big time receiver.
So on the flip side, what y'all think about Detroit? Y'all think they making a comeback now, or was it just the one?
Can I make one more?
Go ahead. What's up?
Before
What's
you
up?
you switch to Detroit
Go ahead,
really quick.
because Richie James
Think about it.
should get the
Who
ball.
is Patrick Mahomes always compared to? I mean, he's still early in his career, but we can say Tom Brady, right?
Dan Marino.
Who did Tom Brady win with back in the day? We ain't gonna make no excuse about these receivers. Is what I'm getting.
But
with.
it's a difference, though. It's a
Troy
different.
Brown.
It's a different
Who
playing
he had back
style,
in the
bro.
day?
It's
Troy
a different
Brown.
playing
I agree.
style.
He had,
It's different. It is different.
He has
Okay.
weapons.
Can't.
Look.
We're not giving
They
Patrick
gotta catch
Mahomes
the ball.
excuses. Don't give
They gotta
Patrick
catch
Mahomes
the ball.
excuses.
All right.
You guys are giving Patrick
Because
Mahomes
I'm not
he's a
giving him
numbers
no
guy.
excuse.
So
That's
hold
what
on,
I'm
hold on.
saying.
He's a numbers guy. Tom Brady's first Super Bowl, he threw for like 113 yards. So
Okay.
it's like
Defense
it was all
carried
about
him.
the
But
defense. That's what I'm saying.
The first three.
The Chiefs right now, they don't even have their best defensive player on the field.
Exactly.
So it's
No,
a
the defense
whole
still played
different
great.
ball game.
The defense-
They gonna have to
still
score
played
different.
great.
If they
score some
wouldn't-
points.
The defense still played
Now,
great.
I mean, I'm gonna give Patrick Mahomes this one just because it's the first game. But if
And
this
they-
keep happening, I'm going. He compared to Tom Brady. I got to put him on the level with Tom Brady. Tom shaded Brady, and he got to be able to.
You gonna ride Tom Brady like that just because he played for the Bucks for 1 year? That's how you gonna do it. You go just prop up Tom Brady now?
I mean, I'm a Peyton Manning guy overall.
Okay.
Him and
I'm just making sure. It sounds like you.
Cunningham. They're my favorite 2 quarterbacks of all time.
Not as the greatest of all time. You're not.
No,
You're not a Peyton Manning or Randall Cunningham greatest of all time guy.
Yeah, you Tom Brady.
Nobody's that.
Nobody's what? This guy.
No, I love what you're doing. I really want to let you go. You're killing it.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm picking a quarterback, I'm picking my dog Peyton Manning with a big forehead.
I would pick Peyton too. I'm not gonna lie.
No,
we had
fuck
Eli
no.
on the Giants, so you know
It's limited, man.
And then and Cunningham back in the day, running quarterback,
Statues
10
don't
feet
last
tall,
nowadays, man.
throw the
People too
ball
athletic.
80 yards. You know what I'm saying? That was my guy.
Them statue
All
quarterbacks.
right, so what we saying about Detroit though? So here's my thing on the NFL, right?
Yeah.
Every
Detroit's
team, Detroit's been terrible for years. What's it been like 20 years since they won a playoff game, something like that?
Crazy.
They had terrible coaching.
They've had terrible coaching, but they also have had like their whole roster just wasn't filled out, right? But my whole thing, my whole philosophy about the NFL is that times always change. Your team's always going to come up. Look at Miami last year. I mean, Miami's never been as bad as Detroit, to be honest. But look at Cleveland last year. Cleveland made a comeback too. Every team has its day. Like, so I think Detroit's going to be on the up and up this year, in my opinion.
I would say football is just.
I don't think Detroit ever had their time. Like Dolphins had the undefeated season, won the Super Bowl again. The Browns, even Jim Brown, probably the greatest running back of all time. I don't remember who we did that pod with, but we saw the numbers. Yeah, that shit was crazy.
But
if you haven't looked at Jim Brown's numbers,
but was he playing with plumbers and fucking
brother? Holy shit,
fucking electric?
Brother, was he playing?
An electrician?
He was.
He was playing 12 games a year in the season.
I feel you, bro.
It was breaking like I think he broke 2,000 yards one season. And
Bro,
also,
if it was back then,
OJ
I would
definitely
be
did
in the NFL playing, bro. If it was
okay,
back
I
then.
believe that.
Everybody at this table
Would have
like,
been
real
in some
shit,
type of league.
If we could all if we were in our greatest shape,
Yeah.
and we could all go back.
It was different, dog.
1970, nigga, we'd be out there.
But you got to think the pads were different, the helmets were different. Like it was more rugged. Dude.
Niggas was smoking cigarettes on the sideline.
Niggas was
Halftime,
breaking
bro.
bones.
Niggas was on the sideline smoking.
At
You got
halftime.
Joe
Yeah,
Namath.
those were killers, brother.
Motherfuckers were breaking femurs,
Those are fucking
Serial killers,
dude.
dog.
getting shanked in the halftime.
No, I mean Jim Brown, man. I think, like I said, you gotta look at the numbers. I don't want to get us too off topic, but I was just with the Lions. I think it's a fan base that definitely deserves it, and I think that's a franchise that I think it's been obvious over the last 2 years or so that they're building something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The draft picks have been on point.
It's sad Megatron wasn't there for that, but it's all
It is
good.
sad for that. Yeah, 100% agree.
R.I.P. to his career.
Yeah, that's over. But yeah, the Lions. I think it's real. Another thing with the Chiefs that I think is kind of like fool's gold here, though, is Chris Jones not being there in the running game. That's one thing I was really impressed with by the Lions, by the way, is that they never got away from the running game, and it was they had success in it, and they consistently kept feeding David Montgomery.
Yeah, but they didn't feed Jamar Gibbs.
That was the only.
But he was going crazy though when he did touch the ball.
No, but that's what I'm saying. They need to give him the football.
That's
They
what-
got to feature him.
Montgomery was
yeah.
playing too well though, and then with the Chiefs, they didn't run the ball enough.
And
'Cause they changed coordinators.
And they don't necessarily. Okay, so from a coaching standpoint, it's nice to have those gash plays. I guess you'll always take them, but David Montgomery gives you the option to really manipulate the clock, keep Patrick Mahomes off the field, limit the possessions. Where Jahmyr Gibbs, I mean, like I said, that's always a benefit. And I agree. I think leaving that game, you see an opportunity to give him more touches and how you could even be better potentially. To be honest,
It's kind of like a beast mode situation in the Super Bowl, bro. You got to keep feeding him. To be honest.
yeah, well,
No.
Well, and I think in that
Gibbs is
situation,
thin too. He's a rookie. He's thin. You
Yeah.
really want to give him. You want to give him touches, right? You want to give him the ability to win
Bro,
the Rookie of the Year.
You don't draft that man at that pick and not
draft
playing.
him.
but do you see
You
the
need him-
specific game flow?
You don't need him now.
Reason to go with David Montgomery?
You're not
Right.
winning the Super
No,
Bowl
I
now.
see. I see
You're
what
right,
you're
you're right,
saying.
you're
Like
right.
you're
You
saying
know what I'm saying?
from a
He's too
game
thin.
standpoint, you already know he's gonna give you those tough yards. He's gonna go ahead. You can move the clock. You can move.
It'll be
the
3
chains.
downs every time.
You can move the chains with him. But I'm just saying, the way how Jamar Gibbs was running, like if he broke a couple tackles
agree
out
with
there,
that, yeah.
he's gonna be gone. Like
But
you
he's not breaking those
gotta
tackles.
feature him more.
He's thin, man.
You don't know.
but you look great.
You
But to
gotta
your
give him.
point-
You gotta give him a chance. I guarantee.
Yeah.
We say this week 1. Let's
look
come
great.
back to week 7, week 8, and I guarantee you're gonna see that motherfucker with
You
more
don't- you
touches.
don't want to Brees Hall him. Is my point though.
You're gonna see him next week. You're gonna
don't
see
wanna
him.
Brees
You're gonna
Hall
see him next week. They're gonna come back and they're gonna watch the film and be like, "Bro, we gotta
Oh,
get
they're
this
gonna
man.
get him
We gotta get this man the ball."
Damian
Football
Pierce.
is one of those shaky like sports. Like you need to get the experience, but like you say, you don't want to get him hurt too early.
He's
Especially
gotta be
early
able
in
And
the
you
to
did
season,
just
man.
pay David Montgomery, to your point.
Yeah.
So you know you have Jahmyr Gibbs.
You got to lead back already.
Yeah. But
You
I
let
mean,
him
at the same time, you're gonna
let him be
get
the
more
change of
involved.
pace back. Let him get catch passes.
If you talk
get him in
to
space.
any Detroit fan, bro, they telling you like,
Oh yeah,
bruh,
absolutely. I'll call one right
Yeah.
now. Shit.
Yeah,
They are
for
telling you
sure.
right now,
For
like,
sure. But
they're
the thing
fucking,
is,
because if they would have lost that game, that's all the headlines would have been like, bro,
Oh,
we
playing
had
Jahmyr
to.
Gibbs. Yeah.
but
the fuck are
but
we
me as a
doing?
GM though, if I'm a GM, I'm
That's
looking
true.
at it like I'm looking at a Super Bowl window. I don't need him for this year,
Bro, the
Even
GM
if-
has no involvement with the playing time, bro.
Oh
That's
yes,
all
fuck
the
yes,
coaches.
he does.
No, he
What do you
doesn't,
mean?
bro.
You heard about the shit with Miami
No.
with all that
Yo,
shit.
he's
So
been
you
watching
think-
Ballers too much.
No,
though.
bro, that's how that shit really works.
shit.
So you think all that shit happened with the owner in Miami and Chris Greer wasn't involved with none of that shit? Come on, man. He was
No, but I'm
definitely-
talking about actual playing time. Like,
Yes,
I understand
bro.
the collusion and, hey, you want to meet up with
What
Brady,
is happening?
you want to tank
What is
games.
happening right now in
But
Arizona?
but that is a quarterback.
GM
but that's a quarterback
What's
position.
happening
I'm
in
talking
Arizona?
about